I mean by that is we see violations of the law, left, right, center. Talk about in terms of policing and how it should be done. Talk about in terms of management of public resources. We read about corruption every day, but we don't see people being held to account. And it is the same thing that we see happening in policing. So we should in system, the person who should be on the forefront in trying to find out what really went wrong, that we've seen people being killed, we've seen a baby less than 1 year old being killed, should be the Inspector General of Police himself. Why? Because when you permit that kind of thing to happen, you undermine the police, you undermine the support that it has, and eventually the whole thing can fall.
Is there anything to say that we will see a change in our institutions moving forward? As in your mind, when you look forward, if the last 5 years were anything to go by, can we expect changes in those institutions? Can we expect a change in the culture of impunity? Can we expect a return to what we saw after 2003 when Kenyans were then calling out corruption openly, you know, calling out police officers, things like those? Or are we just having an academic discussion in studio?
I'm naturally an optimist. However, I need to say that we need to see leadership as far as doing that is concerned, because if it's going to happen, if institutions are going to be responsible, if institutions are going to carry out their mandate and do it well, if impunity is going to go down and we see people being held to account for violations of law, it just doesn't happen. We need to see leadership, and that means political will, the people at the very top of leadership, beginning by way of example, and secondly also beginning to hold other leaders and people in position to do the same. Okay. It is until we see that that it can happen.
Okay, Lillian.
Looking at where we are coming from and talking about institutions, why do we have IPOA? IPOA is an institution that was born out of the police reforms of 2009 to give a voice to the people. The people had lost their voice because you remember where we were coming from, 2007, 2008, and a lot of police brutality. And we even had a UN special rapporteur who came to Kenya, and there was a great indictment in that report on the work of the police. So we come back and look at ourselves after 2007 and we say, okay, the people need a voice in an independent institution or institutions where we know these institutions are insulated from any political interferences so that they can work and be accountable to the people. So it's just appalling to see that we have all these institutions which should really be working for the people and they are not delivering in a timely way. So when you talk about justice, are we having the people delivering, or these institutions delivering justice to the people? I think we need to look at what we have gone through. More recently, the deaths and the police brutality. And yes, we have agreed things should have been done differently. So I think we need to re-examine these institutions, why they were formed in the first place, and where we should move them moving forward. And I think that is where now we may start now revisiting and addressing now the wrongs that we have not been able to correct so far.
With institutions that are then strong enough or credible enough or independent enough to carry out any suggestions or solutions that come out of such
and that's
discussions.
When we will address the questions of justice to the people. Then they will have a voice. Otherwise, we will say the DPP has directed so-and-so to do this, yet nothing has happened. And people are still crying out for justice. More people are still suffering. This is not what we wanted post 2007, 2008. We wanted a country where the people have a voice, and that voice is solidified in the Constitution, in Article 10, and of course, above all, the supremacy of the people. So we need to have a country where people's lives and properties are protected to the last.
To the last. Kissinger, coming briefly, because I can see we're about to cross over.
Quickly, we must continue recognizing that these institutions are already in place, and we must continue pushing for those institutions to deliver what they are supposed to deliver. This still takes me back to the institution we talked about, the NCIC, which of course is supposed to be dealing with all these issues around ethnicity and inclusivity. And I think at one point probably it lost its script, or at one point it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing, or maybe we just don't understand what it's supposed to be doing, and at one point it transformed to issues of hate speech. So we need to see really these institutions, what is wrong with them, what is the agenda, why are they not pushing it, and we need to continue supporting them and providing checks and balances for this institution. The biggest elephant in the room is how we can be able as Kenyans to debunk the issues of ethnicity and then encourage the issues of political inclusivity. And as long as we continue hiding ourselves with this issue of ethnicity, we'll always find ourselves a challenge in this country, because it's the same ethnicity that leads to political intolerance and political mischief. So we must work towards actually debunking ethnicity.
Thank you, Kissinger, for those brief comments. The more things change, the more they remain the same, is what some have been known to say. A lot has changed since 2007, but in many ways a lot has remained the same. And moving forward, as a nation, it is clear that a serious conversation must be had. I will be releasing my guests shortly as I hand over to Salim Swale. But before that, let's take a look at what's happening in different parts of the country. Can we listen briefly to what Governor Mutahi Kahiga is saying a week or so into office? A lot of celebration in Nyeri. Let's, if we can get his good sound, we can listen in to what he has to say. Dennis Otieno also has an update from Nairobi County. We will be talking to him shortly as well. Can we now listen into what the governor has to say?
Thank you very much. Ushindi wake umeweza kutangazwa mara ya pili na koti kuu letu. Kwa hivyo sisi tunashukuru sana, wananchi wa Nyeri wana furaha na tutaendelea kusherekea. Tunataka rais wetu aapishwe mara moja, kazi iendelee. Ama namna gani wananchi? Kazi iendelee. Kazi iendelee. Hatutaki mengine. Sisi tunataka kuonya, hatutaki, we do not want side shows. We want the normal processes of the law to take place, and we are expecting the swearing in of the president according to the constitution within the next few days, and we promise to be there. Sisi watu wa Nyeri tutakuwa huko, tutatumia mabasi, tutatumia magari, tutatumia motorbikes na kila kitu mpaka tufike kule. Sisi haturudi nyuma. Na tunashukuru, tunampongeza rais na mdogo wake au naibu wake William Ruto, na tuko pamoja wananchi wa Nyeri. Tumefurahi. Mimi nataka kusema hivi, ni unafiki mkubwa sana unapojifanya wewe unafuata katiba na alafu wewe ndio wa kwanza kuivunja. Ni vizuri tumwambie Raila Amolo Odinga na wafuasi wake, koti limeamua, lilipoamua kwamba uchaguzi urudiwe, wewe ulisherekea. Nasi sasa wametangaza kwamba Uhuru alichaguliwa kihalali. Muache sisi tusherekee na tufuate katiba. NASA wajue hawatutishi. Ni vizuri tuseme hivyo. Ushauri wako wa mwisho kwa bwana rais baada ya mimi ni kumwambia rais hivi: rais, wewe ni simba aliyenyeshewa. Watu wasikuone kama wewe ni paka. Endelea na kuapishwa, kazi iendelee. Kenya imesimama kwa muda kwa sababu tumekosa kuendeleza uchumi kwa sababu ya vurugu na fujo. Sasa tunasema sharti kazi iendelee, rais aapishwe na aendelee na kazi mara moja. Nyeri tumefurahi sana. Sisi tuna furaha na bashasha kwamba rais ameapishwa, na tunataka kuahidi tutakuwa mahali atakapoapishwa.
tudumisha amani. Kwa hivyo asanteni sana na Mungu abariki. Watu wa samaki, tukutane next week. Mwanze kuleta hiyo rent. Na mnunue samaki my friend. Mtu ya TV, onyesha one more time. Welcome to Majengo Fish. Assemble fresh.
Vanessa, I am your real mother.
To bring out food's natural taste. Fresh fry. Because life is full of flavor.
Hata ndio huyo. Aha, here comes the queen. Surprise, I'm here to stay. Hi, my love. Mambo, umeniweka bwana.
Kuhusu shabiki.com, niliusikia katika runinga ya Citizen. Niliamua kujisajili kwa Shabiki ili hata mimi niwe mmoja wa washindi. Wakati nilipokea simu kwamba mimi ni mshindi, nilichanganyikiwa mwanzo. Jambo la kwanza, nitalipa la 10 kanisani. La pili, nitashughulikia karo ya mwanangu. 3, nitapanua nayo biashara yangu ya ususi. Ningependa kuambia watu wa Kisumu washiriki huu mchezo wa Shabiki, kwani ni wa ukweli na haki.
Hii tuzo itabadilisha maisha yetu na isi vyema na mwenye furaha.
Mimi ni shabiki. Je, wewe?
Sisi sote mashabiki. Wai na shabiki.
To the outer framers, the turtleneckers, the fringe growers, you don't need to hide anymore. Try Dettol Even Tone.